Hello, baseball fans, and welcome to the AAA American Legion State Tournament from legendary Kiger Stadium in Klamath Falls. I'm Josh Elger. Along with me is going to be Jay Reese. I'm so glad you could join us tonight for the Medford Mustangs versus the Dallas Dirtbags on PlayActionSportsMedia.com. Today's game is presented in part by Hellgate Jet Boat Excursions, Affordable Truck and RV, Timber Country Coca-Cola, by Les Schwab Tires. Welcome to the Oregon-California Supply AAA American Legion State Tournament powered by Les Schwab Tires on PlayActionSportsMedia.com. Tonight's matchup is between the Dallas Dirtbags and arguably the hottest team in the Northwest, the Medford Mustangs. Medford comes into play after an immaculate walk-off win last night against the league rivals Eugene Challengers in 8 innings. Bennett Thompson came up with the bases loaded and one out in a 3-3 ball game and launched one into right field for the walk-off base hit. That was Medford's 5th win in a row, dating back to their super regional win against Corvallis. With that win last night, they have a shot at the state championship, win tonight or not. For the Dirtbags, it's just another day with their backs up against the wall. Yesterday, they saved off elimination against Beaverton 7-4. At one point down 4-0, this team showed resolve to come back and snag a win, much like their Mustangs counterparts did last night. Again, the Medford Mustangs and the Dallas Dirtbags will be coming your way next on Play Action Sports Media. We're going to take a quick break, and when we continue, it's starting lineups and first pitch from Kiger Stadium in Klamath Falls. You're watching the American Legion State Tournament on PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jet boat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate jet boat excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits. Experience the Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jet boat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate jet boat excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits.
Welcome back to Kiger Stadium, the site of the 2019 AAA American Legion State Tournament on PlayActionSportsMedia.com. We now start with our starting lineups on PlayActionSportsMedia.com, beginning with the visitors tonight. The Medford Mustangs leading off, and in center field is going to be Darren Marsh. Batting second behind the dish for Medford tonight is Bennett Thompson, the winner, the hero, I should say, last night, who got the walk-off hit. Hitting third is Ryan Sandoval, designated hitting. Batting in the cleanup spot is Evan McLennan at third base. Dylan Marsh hits sixth and is in right field. Zach Ankeny is batting seventh and at short. Hitting eighth is Bennett Smith at first base. Jeremiah Huffman is hitting eighth and in left field. Batting ninth is Chase Costanti at second base. On the mound for the Medford Mustangs is going to be Blake Shields. Shields will have to try to keep the Dallas Dirtbags lineup at bay tonight. Leading off for them is Jacob Mabin in left field. Batting second is Blake Aratola in center. Emiliano Alarcon is behind the dish for them tonight, hitting third. Derek Mabin is batting cleanup at shortstop. Kyle Mitsuyasu is designated hitting and batting fifth. Connor Lang is at second base, hitting sixth. In the 7 hole is Eric Swanson. He's going to be at first base. Noah Juarez is batting eighth and at third base. And rounding out the order for the Dallas Dirtbags is Braden Allison in right field. On the mound for them is Caleb Cantola for the Dallas Dirtbags. Getting ready for first pitch here in just a few minutes. And he'll go ahead and throw it over to my man tonight, Jay Reese.
All right, Josh, thank you again, and welcome again to the Lithia Auto Group Oregon AAA American Legion State Championship Tournament from Clem Bradbury Field inside Kiger Stadium in Klamath Falls. It is the 5-time reigning defending state champion Medford Mustangs and the Dallas Dirtbags for what will put one of these teams into an opportunity to play Medford again for the state championship. Again, Medford is the only undefeated team out of 3 remaining clubs left standing. Eugene beating Salem earlier, as Josh mentioned, has a chance to come back and play either Medford or Dallas tomorrow and a chance for the championship. Tomorrow's first game will be at 1 o'clock, and if necessary, the deciding title game for the 2019 crown in Oregon at 4 o'clock. We bring you tonight's affordable truck and RV road trip weather report. Currently mostly sunny. It is indeed sunny here. Not much smoke in this area. Above 4,000 foot elevation at Kiger Stadium in the beautiful Klamath Basin. Sunny and 80 degrees, but very windy again. We had 18-mile-an-hour winds last night when we started first pitch. Tonight the winds are at about 12 miles an hour, blowing straight out to center field. And the humidity at 30%. You'll see a lot of balls get out of here. We've had 6 home runs in the tournament this year. The dimensions at Kiger Stadium, 325 down the left and right field lines. It's 385 straightaway center and 350 in the power alleys. The Dallas Dirtbags and head coach James Boog Leach. And Dallas, they've been this far before. They played Medford in 2017 right here for the state championship, and they're hoping to do it again. They've got a good one on the mound tonight, 31-11 record. They won the Area 3 championship. They lost 3 out of 4 at the end of Corvallis, but then swept the Salem Dodgers 4 straight games to win the Area 3 title. 12-4 league record, 31 overall. Nate Mabin and the Medford Mustangs 10-10 as the number 3 seed out of Area 4, and now 32-22, winners of 8 of their last 11 ball games. Right-hander Blake Shields from South Medford, a junior to be, against a graduate from Central High School, the 5A pitcher of the year, Caleb Cantola. Wears number 9 on the Dirtbags in their orange jersey tops, ready to go. And we're underway with this state semifinal matchup. Leading off for the Mustangs is Darren Marsh, center fielder. It'll be Bennett Thompson, Ryan Sandoval to follow, the top third of the order for the Mustangs. Hit in the air and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, big wind here at Kiger Stadium. At about 12 miles an hour right now at game time. Here's the 1-1 from Cantola. In low with a breaking ball. Big, tall right-hander from Central High School. Central winning the state championship. Their second in school history. Their first came back in 1958 for Central. 2-1 as Cantola pounds the bottom of the zone, and he goes behind to the leadoff man, Darren Marsh, 3-1. Central defeated Pendleton. Head coach Tom Roberts and the Central Panthers from Independence, Oregon, near Western Oregon University in Monmouth, as Cantola fires a strike, and it's full. Panthers finished 25-4. Cantola again the 5A pitcher of the year. He's the 4th arm to go for head coach Boog Leach. Hit into the crease. Extra bases coming up. Darren Marsh may go for 3. He'll pull up into second with a leadoff double. And the Mustangs continue the mojo from an evening ago, when, as Josh recapped that for you, Medford did the unimaginable, unthinkable, and that's what makes baseball so great. Although they really caused havoc for Eugene. Head coach Kenny Niles and the team and the fans. It was a heartbreak loss, losing in the 8th inning. But everything went Medford's way. But it appeared as though we might push on and play another 5-6 extra innings when Eugene threw out Medford at home plate to end the 7th. Marsh with a leadoff double off of Cantola. Now Bennett Thompson. If we can get that guy to move. Cantola in with a strike. What a one, the count even to Thompson. He's the Mustang catcher tonight. We'll set the Dallas Dirtbags defense for you. Again, 31-11 on the year. Change up in for a strike. And we'll just kind of quickly go through it. The outfield left to right, Jacob Maben in left field. Blake Aratola is in center. Right field, Braden Allison, you see. We'll come back at the infield after this 1-ball, 2-strike offering from Caleb Cantola. Curveball in the dirt. Wild pitch will move Marsh onto third. For the infield for the Dirtbags, around the horn at third base is Noah Juarez. Derek Maben is at shortstop. And the Maben brothers, I'll tell you what, they are two incredible ball players at Western Oregon this past year. So Derek the shortstop, Connor Lang at second. As the pitch rolled up to Derek Maben at short and on to first just in time to get him. But the Mustangs will push across the game's first score of the night. Darren Marsh in to score on the ground out RBI from Bennett Thompson. One out and a 1-0 Medford lead as the Mustangs draw first blood. Cantola will go to work against the designated hitter, Ryan Sandoval. Sandoval started to go and held up. Looks at strike one. Around the horn at second base is Connor Lang for Dallas. Eric Swanson is the first baseman. And Emiliano Alarcon, I'll get it right. Alarcon is the catcher. Sandoval swings through and misses that changeup, strike two. Medford winners of 5 in a row, 8 of their last 11. In tight to Sandoval. Head coach James Leach, they call him Boog. He is a Roseburg High School graduate, and they know a little bit about baseball in Douglas County. Breaking ball in there, punched him out. So Cantola comes back with some poise and fortitude. Down a run. Gets the number 3 guy. Now we'll go to work on Evan McLennan, third baseman. McLennan 1 for 1 last night. Josh Baptiste hit for him in the 7th in this 4-hole. And it was Baptiste with the 2-run double that tied the game 3-3. And then, of course, Bennett Thompson with the game-running line drive base hit to right field as McLennan looks at Cantola's pitch up high. The Mustangs and head coach Nate Maben, they've been here before. They've won 5 straight state titles, 16 in the history of the program. Off-speed pitch, cut on and missed. No other team in Oregon history has appeared in 6 consecutive title games but this Medford team. They're in it no matter what, a chance for the pennant and a right to go to Lewiston, Idaho a week from tomorrow for the Northwest Regional. Pulled down to first and botched by Swanson. And aboard is McLennan on the air by Swanson at first. So a 2-out error. And it brings up Dylan Marsh. Marsh has been rather silent in the tournament. And may be an overstatement in the word quiet. When you look at the rest of these guys, Bennett Smith 5 for 7 with 3 RBIs. Ankeny 4 of 6, 3 ribbies. Costanti 3 for 7, a couple runs batted in. Passy with 2 for 4. This one from Marsh hit in the air and will be playable. Straightaway center. Aratola there to put it away, and that'll retire the Mustangs. But Marsh 3 for 7 with 4 runs batted in and 1 extra base hit. That's probably bogey golf in the world of Dylan Marsh as he flies out to end this first inning. The Mustangs get 1 across. The leadoff double by Darren Marsh, the younger brother of Dylan, gets it started, and they'll leave 1 on. For 1/2 inning, it's the 5-time defending state champion Medford Mustangs 1 and the Dallas Dirtbags coming to bat after this on the Oregon-California Supply Oregon State Championship Tournament Game of the Week, powered by Les Schwab Tires on Play Action Sports Media.
Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jet boat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate Jet Boat Excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits.
Welcome back to the Oregon-California Supply Oregon State American Legion Baseball Championship Tournament Game of the Week. Powered by Les Schwab Tire Centers of Southern Oregon, thanks to Troy Leeper and all the Sudden Service team at Les Schwab Tires here on PlayActionSportsMedia.com. The Medford Mustangs, the reigning 5-time defending state champions, lead it 1-0. And right-hander Blake Shields on the mound for the Mustangs, and the leadoff man is Jacob Maben, the left fielder. No relation, different spelling to Medford head coach Nate Maben, although with their pedigree and resume, he'd like to lay claim to them, I'm sure. As Shields in with a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike to Maben. It'll be Jacob Maben, Blake Aratola, and Emiliano Alarcon for the Dirtbags, the Area 3 champions. 10th year of the program for the Dallas Dirtbags. Check that. Down and away from Shields. Boog Leach, his first year as head coach. He's been the assistant coach 3 years. And the pitch from Maben drilled into right center field and over the head of Marsh. And it is gone. Well hit, not much wind to aid that one. And Jacob Maben ties it on a 1-1 count. 385, nearly straightaway center. And the Dirtbags tie it up. Maben, the brothers are from Newburgh High School. They got a variance to join this Dirtbag program. Both attend Western Oregon University. They graduated a year ago at Newburgh. Both hit 400 in the NCAA D2 GNAC, Great Northwest Athletic Conference. And Derek, who will bat next, actually 2 batters later, was first team all GNAC. Jacob with the home run ball there, honorable mention, and then made second team all region at Western Oregon. Like Aratola, the center fielder, looks at a changeup scooped in the dirt from Thompson, the Mustang catcher. Right-hander Blake Shields, South Medford High School product. in on the hands. Aratola fouls it back. Get the defense for the Mustangs as we settle in here in a 1-1 tie in this Oregon State Championship semifinal matchup. Shields works high and inside. Aratola likes to go opposite field, and Shields works low to him to run the count full. Nobody out. It's the start of things on a beautiful Tuesday night in the Klamath Basin here on Play Action Sports Media, and there's ball 4. Well, the Mustangs, again, they'll throw by committee tonight. You're going to see a couple of innings from Shields, a couple from, it could be a plethora of different Mustangs as quickly Nate Maben jogs out to the mound. And we'll talk to his right-handed starter, Blake Shields, tonight. But again, there's no pressure on Medford. They will play for the trophy tomorrow one way or the other. A Dallas win, and Medford will wait for a 4 o'clock matchup with either Dallas again or Eugene. Dallas lost, and they're out of it. And it's down to Eugene and Medford, an all-Area 4 league championship, to decide it, with Eugene having to beat the Mustangs twice. Both teams getting thin on pitching, but both get most of their arms back tomorrow. Shields ready to work again. The runner bluffs. Push putt. McLennan from third guns him down and will retire Alarcon. Nice sack bunt. This is a very experienced Dallas team. So with one out, here's Derek Maben, the Dirtbag shortstop. Again, the brothers are from Newburgh High School. A couple of good ball players. But this Dirtbag program was founded by Scott McDonald back in, I think it was 2008 or 09. 10 years in the making. And they are self-funded. They have no title sponsor, but they are comprised of mainly West Salem is their home school, and they now play at Western Oregon. They pay a couple of bucks to use the beautiful facilities at Western Oregon University. And they draw kids. They only have 3 players from Dallas High School, a couple from Central, and the rest are all West Salem. But they can draw from Amity, Dayton, McMinnville. This ball in the air into right center field, and Marsh is called off at center. Is that Marsh in center for the Mustangs? And taken by the right fielder, Dylan Marsh. The younger brother said, hey, I got it. So there are 2 gone. Here's Mitsuashu. He's an Australian. Kyle Mitsuashu, the designated hitter. And with 2 out and a 1-1 tie, Marsh to the line, and it stays fair. In to score is Aratola. And now Medford boots the ball, but they're going to hold the runner at third. They could have scored him. Mitsuashu could have scored. It'll be a double and an error to get the third by the Mustangs, and I think, was it the second baseman? A run batted in for Mitsuashu. And the Dallas Dirtbags lead it 2-1. Leadoff home run by Jacob Maben. And here is Connor Lang, second baseman, who hits in the 6 hole for the Dirtbags. 2 runs, both earned here in the early going. We're in the bottom of the first. Dallas, the home team in this semifinal. Changeup. playing way out ahead of that one. I believe it was the second baseman that cut that for Medford. We'll see if we can confirm that. But it is an error. And the pitch scooped out of the dirt. Nice pick by Bennett Thompson. So the scoreboard doesn't show an error, but it's got to be an error to get the runner to third. Two out, and Shields ahead 1-2. Changeup sails a bit high and away. For Medford defensively around the infield, it's McLennan at third. Zach Ankeny is the shortstop. Chase Costanti at second, and Bennett Smith plays first base. And the outfield, without looking on the screen, will tell you in left field is Jeremiah Huffman. And then the Marsh brothers with Darren in center field and older brother Dylan in right. Bennett Thompson, quarterback, receiving behind the plate. Full count pitch. Ripped down the right field line, and this one is just foul by a foot. Lang from Central, he was a part of that 5A state championship. He's actually a switch hitter, and he will play for Jeremiah Robbins and Umpqua Community College this fall. Again, the 3-2. Got him swinging. Down and away. For Dallas in the bottom of the first, they get the leadoff home run, and then a run-scoring double by Mitsuashu. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 Medford error, and they'll leave Mitsuashu stranded at third. After 1 complete inning at the Lithia Auto Group AAA Oregon State Championship Tournament from Kiger Stadium in Klamath Falls, it's Dallas 2, Medford 1. You're watching PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Experience the Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jetboat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate Jetboat Excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits.
As we come back to start the second, Zach Ankeny is gunned down by Maben from short, who came charging on the turf. And Derek up and throwing retires Ankeny, the leadoff man for Medford, to begin the top of the second inning with the Dallas Dirtbags in the orange-clad jersey tops, leading Medford 2-1. Number 7 man in the lineup, here's Bennett Smith. Left-handed hitting first baseman looks at strike 1 from Caleb Cantola. Bennett Smith last night went 2 for 3. Head of that one. Dallas again 31-11, Medford 32-22. They played twice earlier this year, and both times the Dirtbags defeated Medford. Changeup pounded foul off of the plate. They met twice at the Roseburg kickoff tournament back in early June, the mid part of June, on the 14th. Dallas won the first meeting 2-1. And then 2 days later, The Dirtbags down the Mustangs 7-1. That's at a period when Medford opened the season, losing 8 of their first 13. And then winning the Reno tournament, beating the Salem Dodgers as they did 2 days ago here in the tournament, both times convincingly. As down goes Bennett Smith, swinging for the second out. Second strikeout for Cantola. But Medford, at the 4th of July peak, had won 14 of 16. And thus propelled them to a super regional comeback victory, winning the last 2 out of 3 against Corvallis on the road at Hanson Stadium, Taylor Field in Corvallis. Evan Hilberg and his crew had won the opener, and then Medford came back to take 2 and punched their ticket here to the state tournament. And Medford's it's just been one of those summers for this young team. And by design, they are very young. Nate Maben has gone with a young team, knew they would take their lumps a few times, as Huffman is ahead 2-0 on the count. Breaking ball, fanned and miss. Medford opened the tournament beating Klamath Falls 7-1. You hear the wind, it is massive. And as the air over the Pacific Ocean cools off and meets the warmer air over land, it creates quite a few wind gusts. Right down the tube, knee high for a strike. 2-2 with 2 out, nobody aboard. Medford then pounded Salem, as I mentioned, 15-2 on Sunday. And then in that extra inning affair last night, crushed the hearts of the Eugene Challengers 4-3. Fouled at the plate. Dallas opened with a 4-2 win over Willamette Valley, and then were turned back by Eugene by a run, 3-2. And yesterday, in an elimination game, they sent Hillsboro the Barbers packing, winning 7-4. Called strike 3. Hoffman looks at a pitch exactly where the one before was a strike at the knees, and the Mustangs go in order for the first time in 2 games. 3 up, 3 down. To the bottom of the second inning, the Dallas Dirtbags 2, the Medford Mustangs 1. You're watching PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Affordable Truck and RV, for the places you would like to be.
Bottom of the second inning from Kiger Stadium in Klamath Falls. Jay Race with Josh Eldridge here on PlayActionSportsMedia.com. We welcome you to the Oregon-California Supply, Oregon AAA American Legion State Championship Tournament Game of the Week, powered by Les Schwab Tires. Oregon-California Supply in Grants Pass next to Wild River Pizza, and in Medford just north of Vilas Road on Highway 62, where you save 20% off on Wright brand hand tools. Oregon California Supply for logging, construction, hydraulic, and hose and hand tools, fire and safety. Visit Oregon California Supply. Eric Swanson leads it off for the Dirtbags. the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for head coach Boog Leach. In on the hands, popped up back a second. Costanti called off by Dylan Marsh, who puts it away. And this game moving along quickly, unlike the preceding game before us. And again, it ended up 12-8, I believe was the final.
14-8 final.
14-8, that's right. 14-8. The Eugene Challengers live for the last day of the state tournament and a chance for a state championship for head coach Ken Niles. Shields in with a strike to Noah Juarez, spelled Juarez. Change up in for strike 2. Juarez, the third baseman, down 0-2. So pitching is the key to these tournaments, and now again 7-inning games in the second year of that change. Hit through the middle, base rip for Juarez. Third hit of the night for the Dallas Dirtbags, the Area 3 champions. Again with head coach James Leach, a 2012 Roseburg High School graduate. Sean Domke, Cam Nowak, and James Anderson assist as well. But it was Scott McDonald that started the Dirtbag program. Micah Tiffin, and then Miles Kaiser rotated in there a couple of stints. And I remember, 4 or 5 years ago, Taylor Hetrick and Jake Whistler, Pete's son, were the coaches. Ground ball into right field, base hit, and had the runner gone to third, would have been an error on Marsh. He overran the ball, but Braden Allison with a single into right field. But this Dirtbag team, they only have 3 underclassmen. Mitzi Ashu will graduate this next year at West Salem, along with Caden Reedhead, an outfielder pitcher. And then a junior to be is Hector Amador, or Amador if you will, for the West Salem Titans out off Wallace Road. Here's Maben, the leadoff man, hit up to Ankeny to second, and that's the only play. Costanti with a bluff throw. And they force out Allison at second base on the fielder's choice play. 2 away in the second inning, bottom of 2. The Dirtbags lead it 2-1. Like Aratola, the center fielder, steps into the box. Medford has outscored their 3 opponents in the state tournament 26-6. Last night they beat the Challengers as Maben breaks. Thompson will throw through, and they almost would have got him. Good throw by Thompson, but a good jump by Maben, and he may have beat that with a tag applied. So Maben with a stolen base takes away the force play with 2 away. The pitch was a ball. Medford ended 4 runs, 9 hits. They stranded 11, and 9 of the 11 were in scoring position. Thompson does a nice job there of knocking that ball down, keeping it playable. But just to think, I mean, Medford had so many opportunities to get runs across, but couldn't do it until they absolutely needed to. Eugene, 3 runs, 7 hits, with a couple of errors and 1 costly one, opened the window on that high chopper at third. And the Challengers left 6 men aboard. 2 balls and a strike to Aratola. Good pitch, changeup. Aratola, a year ago graduated at West Salem and plays for Shemeketa. Or as I once heard an announcer say, Shimakita. Must be close to Willamette University. Slow roller up toward the bag. Nice play by Ankeny in the throw in the nick of time to get him. Oh, you got to ring him up for that. Beautiful play by Zach Ankeny. Nobody's going to argue that play for sure. That's a bing-bang play and a nice field by Zach Ankeny. For the Dirtbags in the second, they get a couple of base hits. They'll leave 2, and we've played 2. On to the third, 2-1. Dallas leading Medford You're watching PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Experience the Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jet boat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate jet boat excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits.
Scoot along to the third inning here in Klamath Falls, Oregon. You're watching PlayActionSportsMedia.com from legendary Kiger Stadium, built in 1948. Once hosted the American Legion World Series in 1970. It's the Medford Mustangs batting, the 5-time reigning state defending champions, winners of 16 titles, against the Dallas Dirtbags, who face elimination with a defeat tonight. 2-1, Dallas with the lead, and you're looking at right-hander Caleb Cantola throwing for the Dirtbags. Cantola, right-hander from Central. Again, I mentioned earlier the 5A Player of the Year or Pitcher of the Year, leading the Panthers to the state championship over Pendleton. Cantola, the fourth guy to go, and he's a good one as well. Again, with only 3 underclassmen, they went with Jarrett Stewart in the opening game, beating Willamette Valley 4-2. Stewart went 5 innings, struck out 5 on a 3-hit shutout performance from Jarrett Stewart. Stewart graduated a year ago from Dallas. He's only, again, they only have 3 guys from Dallas High School, and they are the Dallas Dirtbags. Breaking pitch, nicely placed for a strike. In the 3-2 loss to Eugene, Bo Burnett, with a complete game victory there for Eugene, gave up, well, he didn't give up, but they allowed 2 unearned runs. The 2 that the Dirtbags mustered. Swinging and missing, strike 3 is Costanti. Mustang's second baseman goes down, and back-to-back strikeouts for Caleb Cantola. But Dallas went with Cameron Hagan, who suffered the loss, a complete game loss, allowing 5 hits in 6 innings in that 3-2 loss on Sunday to Eugene. Struck out 3. But a couple of pass balls, and Dallas was down 2-0 in the first inning to Eugene. And a team the caliber of the Challengers at this level, those little things, pass balls and a misplayed ball here, a missed cutoff, can mean the difference in going to Lewiston, Idaho, or getting ready for football season. Another one down low. And then yesterday in the survival game, I call it survival game, many call it an elimination game. They beat Beaverton 7-4. They were down 4-0 at the end of 2. Cantola just misses there. But they came back with 2 runs in the third to cut the deficit in half. Eric Kessler pitched the first 4, then Emiliano Alacron went an inning or 2 until Dallas could tie it in the 4th inning. And then Aratola, Swanson, and Juarez, all with runs batted in, to give the Dirtbags a 7-4 victory and to stay alive. Checked at, swung on, missed, dropped, and then tagged out by Alarcon. The fourth consecutive strikeout. And the unassisted put out by the catcher. Quickly 2 gone here in the third. 5th strikeout for Cantola. So they've had 15 strikeouts amongst the 4 Dallas starting pitchers here in the tournament. That's not bad. That'll win you some games or keep you darn close in them. 1-run game right now. 2-1 Dallas leading with Cantola on the bump for the Dirtbags. Matched up against Blake Shields, the starter for Medford. How long he will go, we'll soon find out. Bounced in the dirt, and that one drilled Alarcon right under the mask. He may have taken that one right in the throat. Goodness gracious, hope he's all right. Thank goodness it was a breaking ball. I mean, if there is a silver lining to this, it's a little less velo than a fastball skipped off the plate or the dirt right into your voice box. Alarcon going to shake it off, and he'll take a little walk out in front of the plate. But really enjoy meeting Coach Boog Leach. I've known about him when he played for Roseburg Doc Stewart's. He is working on his master's degree. He's an assistant coach at Western Oregon University, and he's a bright young coach. I mean, this state has really got some good young coaches involved. Hilberg up in Corvallis, Leach here with Dallas, Nate Maben, still in his 30s, Medford's head coach, Kenny Niles, Eugene, Jeremiah Robbins, still a young feller as well at Roseburg. But some very good teachers of the game, first of all, and great people as well. I really appreciate Boog and his time getting us prepared for this broadcast. Dallas won the Papa's tournament, Papa's Pizza tournament in Eugene, the end of June. They beat Hillsboro 21-11. They scored 9 runs in the final inning to do away with the Parbers in that championship tournament. And as I mentioned, they've met twice, these two teams, at the Roseburg tournament to start the season back early June. And Dallas won both affairs, 2-1 and 7-1. 2-1 our score here in the championship semifinals. Bennett Thompson for the Mustangs. Got a great stance. Has his weight balanced. His hands are back and relaxed. And Bennett will draw the base on balls. The first walk of the evening. So after the leadoff double to Darren Marsh, Cantola seems to have gotten lathered up and got in a rhythm here. He had struck out the previous 4 hitters and then issues the walk to Thompson, and now we'll meet number 3 man Ryan Sandoval. So the Salem Dodgers knocked out right before this game, losing 14-8 to the Eugene Challengers. Boy, those two teams, I'll tell you what, you want to see some offense all year long. They played twice before. And just off the top of my head, I think they each put up 30 runs in the 3 meetings, or close to that. 14-8 today, Eugene with the win. Well, as a matter of fact, we do have that number. 63 combined runs. Eugene outscored them in 3 games this year, 37-26. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out in a 1-run lead for Dallas. Bennett Thompson inches his way off the bag at first. Got a pretty good lead over there. Cantola freezes, comes home. The pitch pulled foul down the left side, as you see. But Dallas, interesting, I had been communicating with Corvallis head coach Evan Hilberg toward the end of the regular season, and he had given me the rundown, said, you know, I think Dallas is probably the best team and the team to beat. And he was giving me who had the tiebreaker on who, because everybody around the state was calling everybody, hey, who are we going to get, who are you going to play, trying to get these super regionals matched up, find out who you're going to use, who's going to throw what game, trying to get a scouting report. And it was like a busy day at Wall Street at the stock market exchange. Another pitch fouled away off the bat of Sandoval. But Dallas ended up sweeping Salem the last 4 games. They play 16 games in Area 3. Here in the south part of the state, it's a 20-game league schedule. They also play 16 in the Portland area in Zone 2, which Beaverton won the regular season title there. But Dallas won it, winning their last 4. Another off-speed pitch, and again, Sandoval, a piece of it. Sandoval, a tough out. He may not be the best 2-strike hitter as Marsh and McLennan, but I'd put him right up there, that's for sure. Still alive, 2-2. Again fouled away. And that one headed to the parking lot, and when you hear that crash, think Bill's Glass. How many times have you heard that? Great sponsor, the Butler family and Bill's Glass out of Medford. Of course, seems like yesterday I was with the young Butler at the Northwest Regional and the World Series back in Danville, Virginia. That was first of 3 opportunities I've had with this Mustang team in the World Series. And that was back in 2002, and this one hit into left field. And a 2-strike base hit for Ryan Sandoval. He just kept working and working. Just the second hit of the 9th for the Medford Mustangs, who at one point, Cantola looked to be owning a third of their lineup, particularly the last third with Smith, Huffman, and Costanti, who we all struck out. And then got Darren Marsh, the leadoff man, 4 consecutive Ks for Cantola. Now he's got a bigger task in Evan McLennan, but he comes fastball, strike 1. So the Mustangs still have Robbie Buchanan. They call him Buck. And they've got their arsenal of pitchers still ready to go. Thompson could come back. This one lashed into left center. They're coming around third with Thompson. He will score, and the Mustangs have tied it up. McLennan with a run batted in. 2-2 tie. We're in the top of the third. Here's Dylan Marsh. Marsh with 4 runs batted in the tournament. This one in on the fist. Rolled to third. They'll tag the runner out heading that way and retire Sandoval unassisted on the put out to end the inning on the fielder's choice play as Marsh was fisted. But Medford ties it up on the RBI single by McLennan. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and they'll leave 2 runners on base. Through 3, or 2.5 rather, we'll go to the bottom of the third. It's now Medford 2 and the Dallas Dirtbags 2. You're watching the Oregon-California Supply Oregon State American Legion Championship Tournament Game of the Week, powered by Les Schwab Tires. Bottom of the third inning in a 2-2 tie from Kiger Stadium. We welcome you back to Clem Bradbury Field, the home of the Klamath Falls Falcons, the host team of the state tournament. The Dallas Dirtbags 2 and the Medford Mustangs 2. The leadoff man hit by the pitch. In the 3-hole, Emiliano Alarcon hit by Blake Shields. The scoreboard has 4 hits for the Mustangs. I have 3.
I have 3 as well.
Yeah. So I don't know where they got the 4th.
Well, they've got 3 up there.
Oh, they do. Okay, I'm sorry. I keep thinking Medford, like, amazing. Wild pitch from Shields. And again, it's no big deal if Medford loses this game. And actually, I don't even know why they play this game. You know, the bracket is interesting. There's a lot of banter and talk about it. It's been this way for a long, long time. But at one point, there was another state championship playoff format, if you will, when they played best of 3s, first round, second round. And then you got to the semis. They were best of 5s, and the championship was a best of 5. There's pros and cons to it, as Nate Maben makes his way out to the mound to visit with Blake Shields here in the bottom of the third with nobody retired. Alarcon on its second, hit by the pitch, and then advances on the wild pitch in a 2-2 tie in this championship semifinal game with Derek Maben due up the shortstop, the cleanup hitter for the Dirtbags. But there's different, you know, it's just the way it's been. The fact that the matchups ended up today, Medford thought maybe they were going to get Salem with the win last night, but if you've already played a team previously in the tournament, then they switch you to the average fan. The bracket is confusing as all get out. You need a Philadelphia attorney to figure it out in some years. Then they move the times, and that's just the way it is. And, of course, we in the media get it wrong, too. We botched it from the get-go, the opening day of the tournament, and admitted it. But there are people that do not like the way the tournament is formatted, including teams, not just fans. But it is what it is. Thankfully, they are hopefully making money this year hosting at Klamath Falls, which it's been on every year. Roseburg hosted it last year, and it seems Roseburg and Klamath and Eugene are the only ones that can ever make money at it. And grazing Maben is Shields, who has hit back-to-back batters. And Maben is going to get the bullpen busy, and the Mustangs get to work behind his with Ledendecker from South Medford up throwing. But when it was in Kaiser at Volcano Stadium, the home of the San Francisco Giants minor league affiliate, as Kyle Mitsuyoshi steps in, 2 on, nobody out, in a 2-2 tie. Bunted. McLennan will have to hurry. He does, and got him. Nice play by McLennan, the big fella. And look what he did, too. He covered home. So they had the wheel play defensively with Ankeny covering third from short. And McLennan shows a little athleticism there, the big fella. First out in the third inning. It brings up second baseman Connor Lang. But Klamath hosted it 2 years ago, but they did well on opening day here. Hillsboro started it against Eugene. A wild pitch will bring a run in. And wait a minute. No pitch.
I think they're calling that he was hit by the pitch.
No, it's no. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, he was. All right. Again, my goodness, 3 hit batters. And Colin Sowers comes down quickly, says, is he ready in the bullpen? Paul White gives the signal. Nate Maben not wasting any time. He said, we're ready to make the move, and here comes Nate, and that's going to do it for Blake Shields. With 1 out in the bottom of the third, the 5-time defending state championship head coach Nate Maben, regardless of this game really having no impact on Medford's future tomorrow other than, yeah, if they win tonight, then they only got to win one tomorrow, and they'll wait till 4 o'clock to do that. The first game at 1 if they win and can win it there. But anyway, Maben's going to make the move in a 2-2 tie with 1 out, and the bases loaded as Shields has hit them all to load them up. 2-2 tie from Kiger Stadium. Thanks for being with us. You're watching the Oregon-California Supply American Legion Championship State Tournament Game of the Week. It's powered by Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing with pride and performance since 1952. We'll back with the find out who the call to the bullpen is made for by Medford right after this. You're watching PlayActionSportsMedia.com. Medford makes a call to the bullpen and will change things up. Blake Shields, a South Medford right-hander, started it, goes 2 1/3. He will be a junior this year at South Medford. He gives way to his teammate who will enter his senior year, and Stephen Ledendecker. Ledendecker stands about 6'3", and he will take over in a 2-2 tie with the bases loaded. All runners hit by a pitch by Shields, leading to his exit. And those are his runners on base with 1 out. Ledendecker faces Eric Swanson, the first baseman. The first pitch swung on, hit deep to left center field. It is up against the wall. Alarcon comes in to score. Maben will score. And also to score is Lang. A 3-run double from Eric Swanson.
Clears the bases. Stand-up double. Eric Swanson.
Swanson wastes no time. Goes after the first pitch. And the number 6 hitter drills it up against the wall.
Brings up third baseman, number 1, Noah Warren.
And the former West Salem Titan who graduated this year gives the Dirtbags a 3-run lead. It's now 5-2. All 3 runs come in. Those are tagged to Blake Shields. You can close the book on him now. 2 1/3. 4 hits, 5 runs, all 5 earned. He hit 3 batters, had a wild pitch, struck out 1 and walked 1. But good experience for Shields, the youngster, who again will be a junior this fall at South Medford. So I mentioned, talking about state championship high school programs in these Legion districts. Talking with Coach Leach today and Craig Connor, the pitching coach of the Klamath Falls Falcons, kind of gave them a little trivia, and it was interesting to hear their responses. With 1 out, Swanson clearing the bases, and here's Noah Juarez. But South Medford is the only team out of Jackson County, Medford's home base area, that has not won a state championship. Although they did play for one, and we saw their former head coach Ray Smith here last night. His son is Medford's first baseman, Bennett. But Ashland has won one, Crater. St. Mary's has won a couple in their history. North Medford, Brett Wolf. Ground ball to Castante, whips it over to Smith, 2 gone. Over to third is Swanson. Phoenix and Joe Hagler back in 98. Remember, that was a good ball club. Eagle Point, 1978, Ron Edmonds, who ended up going to Roseburg. Cascade Christian in 2012. Of course, Nate Maben, the athletic director there, but not the baseball coach. But South Medford's the only team in the Rogue Valley that has not won a state championship. Now, in the Dallas area, as I mentioned, is kind of interesting because they have a big area to draw from. And if you count West Marion County, Polk County, and so forth, is the change up from Ledendecker, called strike. But it was interesting to get Leach's response and Craig Connor when they couldn't guess in Eugene. They said Springfield. Yeah, that's one of the 5 that haven't won a state title. Well, how about, let's see, did Thurston? I said, yep, 09 they won it. All right, we know North Eugene won one with Andrew Moore when he was a sophomore for head coach Corey Nicholson at 2010. Pleasant Hill. Okay, Sheldon. Well, Sheldon won it, 4 years ago. Stan Manley led them to the 2015 title. Kenny Niles with Churchill 2 years ago. McKenzie even back in the 60s. Blooper, going to be a tough play. Ankeny guns it into the dirt, won't get him. A run is in. I'm almost tempted to say, yeah, they'll give him an error. That's a tough play. Allison is aboard on the air by Ankeny. Made a good effort. So the double from Swanson. And that run charged to Ledendecker, who works in a hurry and is in low to leadoff man Jacob Maben. No relation to Medford head coach Nate Maben. But South Eugene was the other guy. Yeah, they won on a co-championship in 62. Change up away. Thompson, great job handling it back behind the plate. Pleasant Hill, as I mentioned, won a couple in their history, but Willamette, Springfield, Cottage Grove, Cresswell, and then the one that shocked everybody was Marist. Private school has not won a baseball championship. And they've won it in football, basketball, I think volleyball, and every other sport, but baseball, believe it or not. Fouled up. Smith has room. In foul ground will make the catch. And that'll do it to retire Maben, who pops up to end this elongated. They nearly hit through the order. And for the Dirtbags, they'll get 4 runs in on just the 3-run double by Swanson. The rest of the guys were all hit by pitches. 1 Medford error and 1 left. Through 3 innings, Dallas 6, Medford 2. Back with the 4th inning after this on PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Your concrete supplies are available at Riverside Ready Mix Incorporated. Get everything from bolts to rebar. Ensure you have the quality supplies you need to get the job done. Get ready mixed concrete delivered right to your home or business. We have over 50 years of experience supplying quality concrete. Are you in need of a new septic or water tank? Call us for an appointment to take advantage of our exceptional precast septic and water tank sales. Call now.
We move to the fourth inning in this Oregon AAA American Legion State Championship semifinal game from Kiger Stadium in Klamath Falls. The Dirtbags with 4 runs in the third inning on a 3-run double from Swanson. It's 6-2 Dallas with the lead. The totals for the Dirtbags: 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 4 left. For Medford, 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 3 left. And more play-by-play here in the fourth on Play Action Sports Media. Here's Josh Eldridge.
Thanks, Jay. We get started here in the top of the fourth. Zach Ankeny for Medford leading things off. He's 0 for 1. Grounded out back in the second inning in a 1-ball-and-1-strike count right now. Still against Cantola from Dallas. Cantola's pitched well. Again, only the 2 runs. Only one of them is earned against him. He came in the third inning. 1 run came across again in the first for Medford. It was unearned against Cantola. Behind in the count against Ankeny now. 2 balls and a strike. Misses there again. So Medford, they're down by 4. Dallas with a big bottom half of the third inning. They put 4 runs up. Due up for Medford. They try to crawl back. 6, 7, 8. That's Ankeny, Smith, and Huffman. As the throw will be in time to first. Ankeny grounds out 6-3 for the second time tonight. Up now is Bennett Smith, left-handed first baseman from Medford. He struck out his first time through. One of the 5 guys to go down the first time through the lineup for Cantola. He struck out 5 at 1.4 in a row. Done a very good job throwing strikes tonight. Swing and a miss, gets him ahead. Looked like it might have been a changeup, and Smith ahead of that one. Jeremiah Huffman, the man on deck, also one of the strikeout casualties the first time through. Fisted towards the Dallas dugout, and they try to duck. 0-2 to Smith. Cantola on the mound at one point set down 6 in a row, and then he walked Bennett Thompson back in the third, but 6 in a row, definitely where you want to be when you're a pitcher pitching in it. Most important game your team's seen all season. A loss here and their season would be over. A win here, and they'd have to play Eugene tomorrow to advance again in the finals against Medford. Again, win or lose doesn't really matter too much for Medford. Of course, they'd like to win, but they already have their spot in the state championship, win or lose. As Bennett Smith goes down on strikes for the second time tonight. Deja vu for the first 2 guys in the Medford order in the fourth inning. And that will bring up Jeremiah Huffman. 6 Ks for Cantola so far. And Bennett Huffman, one of those guys, his last time up. That one will be swung and fouled back. So again, we mentioned that if Dallas is able to beat Medford, they play Eugene tomorrow. Scheduled start time of 1 o'clock, though. As usual, things subject to change. Keep track of everything on PlayActionSportsMedia.com. But with a win, Dallas would play Eugene, and winner there would play Medford in the state championship. If Medford is able to come back and win against Dallas, it would be the first championship game would still be played at 1 o'clock, Medford and Eugene. Eugene would have to beat Medford twice, though, to go on to the regional, the Northwest Regional, at Lewiston, Idaho, to play the Alaska State winner at 10 a.m. They open play in Lewiston. Ball and 2 strikes to Huffman. Cantola kicks, he fires. That one hit hard to third. Gloves it, the throw to first on a hop will be in time. 1-2-3 go the Medford Mustangs. They trail 6-2. We head now to the bottom of the 4th inning. You're watching it on PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jet boat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate jet boat excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits.
Bottom of the 4th inning, the Dallas Dirtbags lead the Medford Mustangs 6-2. Leading off in this inning for Dallas is Blake Aratola, Emilio Alarcon, and Derek Mabin, as they are facing Steven Ledendecker in his 2nd inning of work out of the bullpen. He only needed 1 out to get out of that last inning, but still technically his 2nd inning of work. Ledendecker, a ball and a strike to Aratola. He's walked and grounded out so far through this one. Ledendecker coming in relief of Blake Shields. He went 2 2/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits. 5 runs came across. All of them earned. He struck out 1 against 1 walk. He hit 3 guys as well. The 1-2 delivery is hit out towards short. Ankeny ranges over past second base. The throw to first in time for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That brings up Alarcon. He was one of the guys who was hit by a pitch and came around to score as Shields exited the game, responsible for bases loaded. He hit all 3 guys to load the bases, and again, Alarcon was one of them. Besides that, he's grounded out in his only other plate appearance. That one, a shot towards shortstop. Zach Ankeny leaps and catches that one, snags it. It was a surefire base hit. Tom Keller says that's an ESPN level play. I must agree with him there. As now it's 2 outs, and Derek Mabin, another one of those guys who was hit by a pitch in the 3rd and came around to score. Besides that, he hit a shot into center field, but it was caught by Marsh. Ledendecker falls behind. 1-0. Medford again coming into play, winners of 5 straight. 3 here at the tournament, 2 against Corvallis in the Super Regional. That one, another ground ball towards Ankeny, a sliding stop. The throw, it bounces. Smith does a great job taking it out of the dirt, but Mabin just too quick. Ankeny for sure is staying busy out there, though. That's the 3rd ball hit to him in 3 batters. And that'll be an infield single for Mabin, bringing up Kyle Mitsuyasu. Another base hit for Dallas, makes it 6 for them on the night. Ball 1 to Mitsuyasu. He has doubled home a run and grounded out so far. 1 RBI to his name. Taking off is Maben for second. The throw, and they got him. A great throw by Thompson behind the plate, and arguably an even better tag applied. Dallas effectively going 1-2-3 with a base hit mixed in there. They leave no runners stranded. They still lead 6-2. We head to the top of the 5th inning. You're watching PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Experience the Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jetboat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate Jetboat Excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits.
Welcome back to PlayActionSportsMedia.com. Top of the 5th inning we go between the Dallas Dirtbags, the Medford Mustangs, and the AAA American Legion State Semifinal. Costanti lines out. And back to the top of the order for the Medford Mustangs, Darren Marsh. 1 for 2, a double, and he came around to score in the first. Other than that, he struck out in the 3rd inning. Still against Cantola on the mound for Dallas. Marsh taking a look at strike 1 there. 1 quick out in the inning. After Marsh, it's Bennett Thompson. And should he get the chance, Ryan Sandoval. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And the Medford Mustangs already a spot in the state championship game, 16 for them. As a program overall in history, it's the most of any single program in Oregon history, 16. They've won 5 straight dating back to 2014. Winners before them was Eugene, then, pardon me, it was Salem, then Eugene, and then Salem again, starting back in 2013. As the check swing, it did not hold up in time, so it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes to Darren Marsh. Cantola kicks, fires. That one will bounce to the plate. Count runs full. Cantola from the windup, the 3-2. That one a breaking ball, doesn't break enough. Ball 4 issued to Darren Marsh. That's only the 2nd walk given up by Cantola. 2 walks against 6 strikeouts through 4 1/3 innings of work. Again, that brings up Bennett Thompson, the hero from last night, with the walk-off single in the bottom of the 8th. Landed right in front of the Sherms Thunderbird sign in right field. Taken for a strike. Thompson had that at bat. It was bases loaded with 1 out. The game was tied 3-3 after Medford came back and scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the 7th against Eugene. And again, Thompson finished the game. The hero play with the line drive single, driving in the game-winning run. Again, they beat Eugene in that one. Eugene had to play the earlier game today. They played the Salem Dodgers and eliminated them, a 14-8 victory for the Challengers. They will play the winner of this one. If it's Dallas, they will play in what pretty much functions as another semifinal game. It's game 14 at the tournament. If it's Medford, that is the state championship. Eugene would have to win 2 to knock off Medford. Missing low as well, counts 2 balls and 1 strike to Bennett Thompson. He walked in the third, he grounded out back in the first, but it did bring home an RBI in Darren Marsh. Cantola taking his time, keeping the tempo. The 2-1. That one's hit hard on the ground towards short. He bobbles it to second for 1, back to first, and they are not able to roll the double play. So 2 outs. Runner remains at first, though this time it's Bennett Thompson. He'll reach on the fielder's choice, and that'll bring up Ryan Sandoval. 1 for 2. He struck out in the first, was left stranded at second after a single back in the third inning. Medford in the third inning only put up 1 run, and it was off the bat of Evan McLennan, a single and an RBI for him in the third inning. Again, Sandoval was left stranded at second. Good side lead off of first from Thompson. Swing and a miss from Sandoval. 0-1. Two outs in the inning. Unlikely to see Thompson go, but he's nearly halfway to second base. It seems like a good 4 steps off of first. Gets his secondary lead. That pitch will miss low. Cantola decides to throw over there. They might be able to get Thompson. And a 4-5 step lead off of first. And he's not leaning either way. That's a massive lead. And if you're just joining us, top of the 5th inning of a 6-2 ball game between the Dallas Dirtbags and the Medford Mustangs. If Medford is able to come back, Dallas will go home. But right now, Dallas want to stay another day. They want to stay alive at the tournament. They lead 6-2 over the Medford Mustangs. Dallas putting up 2 runs in the bottom half of the first after Medford struck first in the top half, and then adding 4 more in the third inning. That's how they get their 6 runs. For Medford, it was 1 in each of the first and third innings for them. The 2-2. Swung on, sliced foul down the first base line. Count stays 2-2. The runner at first for Medford is Bennett Thompson. He reached on a fielder's choice when Darren Marsh was thrown out trying to advance to second on a ground ball. Cantola coming set again with the 2-2. Kicks, fires a breaking ball, gets a swing and a miss. A filthy curveball sends Medford back to the bench. The Mustangs leave 1 stranded. No base hits in the inning. They still trail 6-2 to the Dallas Dirtbags. We head now to the bottom half of the 5th. You're watching PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Affordable Truck and RV for the places you would like to be.
Welcome to the bottom of the fifth inning of the AAA American Legion State Tournament semifinal between the Medford Mustangs and the Dallas Dirtbags. This game meaning a whole lot more for Dallas than Medford, and they're showing why. They lead 6-2 over the Medford Mustangs right now, and due up to bat for them here in the bottom half of the fifth inning is Kyle Mitsuyasu, Connor Lang, and Eric Swanson. Mitsuyasu was in a two-strike count at the end of the last half inning, but they were able to catch Derek Mabin stealing, so he gets a second life here, I guess, of sorts. Ball and a strike to him. He doubled back in the first, grounded out in the third. That's strike two. Firing in that strike was Ledendecker. Ledendecker, in his third inning out of the bullpen, has yet to allow a run. He allowed one run, and it came back in the third after the double from Swanson. And that'll be a leadoff base hit for Dallas. Brings up Connor Lang. Lang, a left-handed bat in the Dallas order. He is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the third, struck out in the first. Mitsuyasu took off for second. We'll have to head back on the foul ball. Board on the base hit to lead things off. On deck after Connor Lang is Eric Swanson. Mitsuyasu got about halfway to second base and decided to head back. Thompson's already thrown out one guy tonight, and it was Derek Mabin in the fourth inning. Threw him out from his knees. Fantastic job. Lang showing bunt again. Takes it back. 2-1. And this is day 4 of the AAA American Legion State Tournament at Kiger Stadium. Day 5 starting tomorrow at 1 o'clock. It'll either be Dallas or Medford. The winner here will play Eugene at 1 o'clock tomorrow. That one's popped up on the bunt. That will drop in front of McLennan, I believe. That's going to... Oh, Ledendecker snagged that one out of the air. It looked like it might have dropped, but that'll be the first out in the inning. Brings up Eric Swanson. Swanson with a bases clearing double back in the third. Bases were loaded for him, and he unloaded on one into left center field. Had 3 RBIs. Other than that, he's flown out to right field. That was back in the second inning. Ball and a strike to him now, with 1 out and the runner on first being Mitsuyasu. Mitsuyasu, Kyle, no lead to speak off of first. He was looking like he was going to steal when Lang was up to bat, but now has kind of reeled it back in, it looks like. Ball and 2 strikes to Swanson. On deck is Noah Juarez. Bottom of the 5th inning of a 6-2 ball game. An elimination game for Dallas only. If Dallas wins, Medford isn't hurt too bad. But a loss for Dallas would eliminate them from the tournament here at Kiger Stadium. Staying alive is Eric Swanson. Still a ball and 2 strikes for him. Dallas facing elimination for the 2nd day. Taking off. And that one's caught, and they're going to be able to toss it back to first for a double play. Uncharacteristic 4-3 double play. That will end the inning. We head now to the top of the 6th inning. 6-2. Dallas leads the Medford Mustangs. You're watching the AAA American Legion State Tournament live on PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Experience the Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jet boat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate Jet Boat Excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits.
Welcome back to PlayActionSportsMedia.com. We're now in the top of the 6th inning. The Medford Mustangs running out of time in this one. They trail 6-2 to the Dallas Dirtbags. As we get things started here in the top of the 5th, Medford, the Mustangs, 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors. They've left 4 runners on base at this point in the game. For the Dirtbags, 6 runs on 7 hits. My apologies there. 1 error, and they've left 4 runners on as well. We now bring you back to our in-game scoreboard here. It's an 0-2 count to the Medford leadoff hitter, and that is Evan McLennan. Ball and 2 strikes to him now. McLennan singled in an RBI in the 3rd. He reached on an error back in the 1st inning. Left-handed power stick in the middle of the Medford order. Cantola still on the bump. 6th inning will work for him. He's pitched near flawlessly to this point in the game. And that will be strike 3, taken on the outside part of the plate. McLennan goes down looking. That'll bring up Dylan Marsh. 7 strikeouts on the day for Cantola. Marsh is 0 for 2. Dylan Marsh, the older brother. Darren Marsh is actually 1 for 2 with a walk back in the 5th. But Dylan, the right fielder who's up now, is 0 for 2 with a flyout. He reached, he grounded out the 3rd back in the 3rd. On 1, a ball and a strike. That time to Marsh. Finds the outside part of the dish. 0-2. Cantola looking for strikeout number 8. His first strikeout came on Ryan Sandoval back in the 1st. Sandoval then struck out in the 5th. He had 4 strikeouts in a row on the 7, 8, 9, and 1 hitters from the 2nd to the 3rd inning. He struck out 1 more later on. And then Ryan Sandoval again in the 5th. And Evan McLennan to start things off here. Those are the 8 strikeouts for Cantola. Ground ball to 3rd, to 1st, in time, a nice stretch. Marsh rounds out 5-3 in the book, and that brings up Zach Ankeny. Ankeny, before we talk about his 0 for 2 day, has had a fantastic defensive showing. And just want to make sure I get this right. It was back in the 4th inning for Ankeny. He slid towards second base. He stopped that one, threw on to first for the first out, and then leapt probably maybe 2 feet off the ground to grab a ball that was well over his head, was destined for a base hit, and took one away. So a defensive gem from Ankeny so far, but he's 0 for 2 at the plate, and he'd like to improve upon that now. It's the 1-0 pitch, hit to short, and having a little bit of trouble with it out short. And Ankeny will reach on an error, as that was pretty much as routine as it could go, but Derek Maben having a little bit of trouble with it. Ankeny reaching on the error. That'll bring up Bennett Smith. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Smith, you'd think with the lefty-righty matchup, he'd have a bit of luck against Cantola. McLennan, the only other left-hander in the starting lineup, was able to grab a single off of him in the 3rd, but Smith has struck out 2 times. And Coach Boog Leach out to the mound. Cantola, I'm not thinking is going to get taken out right now. He's pitching too well. He is at 100 pitches even. So this could be the last batter he gets. And they'd have to bring in someone new in the 7th. So he hasn't been too economical with his pitch count, but that's what happens when you strike out 8 guys. That means you got to throw at least 3 pitches to everyone you face. But he's been efficient. Pitch count is high, but he's gotten the job done. Holding Medford to just 2 runs, only 1 of them is earned against him. 2 walks, and again, I'll mention it one more time, 8 strikeouts for Cantola. Ground ball hit to first will end the inning. Medford Mustangs leave 1 stranded. They still trail 6-2 to the Dallas Dirtbags. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. You're watching PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Your concrete supplies are available at Riverside Ready Mix Incorporated. Get everything from bolts to rebar. Ensure you have the quality supplies you need to get the job done. Get ready mixed concrete delivered right to your home or business. We have over 50 years of experience supplying quality concrete. Are you in need of a new septic or water tank? Call us for an appointment to take advantage of our exceptional precast septic and water tank sales. Call now.
Welcome back to PlayActionSportsMedia.com. Bottom of the 6th inning, Steven Ledendecker still on the mound going into his 4th inning of work. He's just under 40 pitches, In fact, pitch number 40 is coming up, and it's hit on a line into right field. Leading things off will be Noah Juarez with a base hit. Starting to get a little bit hazy here in Klamath Falls. Could be from any one of the, 3 or 4 fires going on, not in the immediate area, but, around the state of Oregon and Northern California. 8 base hits for Dallas as a team. I'm sure Medford is glad to be out of the smoke. The Milepost 97 fire, last I heard, was up over 14,000, I believe. Don't want to spread any false information, but that's what I read this morning, and the smoke there has to be awful. It was awful when I left Grants Pass last weekend. No balls and a strike to Braden Allison. Juarez reaching on the single to lead things off. Throw on to first will be in time, but the runner, meantime, does move up to second. Juarez settles in safely, and Allison is thrown out. Top of the order now for the Dirtbags, Jacob Mabin. He is 0 for 2 since his big home run in the first inning that got Dallas going. That's what tied up the game in the first. And later on in the inning, Kyle Mitsuyasu doubled home Aratola for the second run in that inning. Encanita first, second out in the inning. But again, Juarez up to third. Ledendecker, of course, coming in relief of Blake Shields. He's only at 43 pitches. Again, the pitch count for the state tournament, American Legion Baseball, is 105. Though I believe the rule states that if you pitched on the first day, you're allowed to come back for day 5, even if you did throw the max 105. So teams like Medford and Eugene, and, well, especially Eugene, Medford as well, and Dallas, if they get there, will have their aces back tomorrow. That's, of course, assuming they threw their ace on day 1 of the tournament. 2-0, the count to Aratola. Ledendecker finds the zone on that one, 2-1. That one from the stretch, a fastball came in and plunked him. Runners at first and second now for Emilio Alarcon. So at third, it's Juarez. At first, it's Aratola. Aratola, the center fielder. Doubt we'll see him in motion here with 2 outs. Maybe an option with a couple outs to work with in the inning. Alarcon was hit by a pitch in the third. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. Take strike 1 there. Should the inning continue, Derek Mabin is waiting on deck for the Dirtbags. Taking off for second, and no throw. See what the call is as far as balls and strikes. But Aratola up to second on the steal. Last pitch was a ball, evens the count at 1. Go a long way for Medford to try to get out of this inning unscathed. The 1-2 is hit hard deep into the air into left field. Huffman turns around right at the warning track and is able to put that one away. The Dirtbags leave 2 stranded in the inning. 1 base hit. They lead 6-2 over the Medford Mustangs. You're watching the AAA American Legion State Semifinal on PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jet boat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate jet boat excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits.
Welcome back to PlayActionSportsMedia.com. We're in the top of the 7th inning of a 6-2 ball game. We take a look quickly at the totals for Medford. 2 runs on 3 hits for them, and 5 runners left on for the Dallas Dirtbags. 6 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. They've left 6 runners on base. For the 7th inning, I toss it back to Jay Reese.
All right, Josh, so last chance for the Medford Mustangs, but again, they will play for the state championship tomorrow. 6-2, Dallas leads Medford, the 5-time defending state champions. Totals going to the 7th for Dallas. 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 6 runners stranded. Medford has plated 2 on 3 hits, committed 2 errors, and left 5. For the Stings, against new pitcher Hector Amador, hard-throwing right-hander, will face Jeremiah Huffman, Chase Costanti, and the leadoff man Darren Marsh in the top of the 7th. The Mustangs set themselves up in good position for pitching tomorrow. Blake Shields more than likely will get tagged with a loss tonight, but he was the benefactor of getting a win last night, coming in and, oh, hey, look what I got, a big fat W, as Medford rallied to beat Eugene in extra innings, winning in the 8th 4-3 to secure their 6th consecutive championship appearance tomorrow. Dallas would meet Eugene at 1 o'clock, and Medford would play the Survivor at 4 for all the marbles and a trip to Lewiston, Idaho 1 week from tomorrow to begin the Northwest Regional.
But as we know after last night, you can't count Medford out in the 7th inning.
No, a win just gives them another win. They're still in and would play at 1 o'clock versus 4 o'clock. It's either or for Medford. They would have to be beaten twice by Eugene or win just one, losing here tonight, as they would play at 4 tomorrow. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Huffman, the number 8 hitter. 0 for 2 tonight. Medford Mustangs, they are in great position with pitching coming up tomorrow. Here's who they could go with, as this one chopped to first and scooped by Swatson and covered by Amador. Nice play by a veteran Dallas Dirtbag team. And I think if you took a survey, I'd say probably 50% of the people picked Dallas and 25% Medford, 25 Eugene right now. So 1 out here in the top of the 7th. And it's Chase Costanti lined out back to Cantola. It is Caleb Cantola. Close the book on him as Amador takes over. And hit by the pitch drilled on the lower right leg is Costanti. The book on Cantola, who led Central to the 5A state title the first week in June. He went 6 innings, just 3 hits off of him. Leadoff double by Marsh, and then that was it. Couple of singles in the third. Medford plated 2 runs, both earned. He struck out 8 and walked just 2. So Cantola fanning 8 of the 25 he faced. Fastball just up in the zone to leadoff man Darren Marsh. The Medford Mustangs, as I mentioned, they're pitching. They're set up with Bennett Thompson, Skylar Goddard from Eagle Point. They can go with Ankeny. I mean, they're in good shape tomorrow. If they came back and won this game, they really, I mean, you don't play to lose ever, but you really don't need to win this game. But Medford has their pitching. Their cupboards are stocked. And they've got Buchanan, too. Don't forget about the little left-hander from North Medford. Pitch gets away. And up to second is Costanti. Glad you could be with us tonight. We got a bunch of people we're going to say hello to real quick that have spread the word, have sent messages, said hello, and can't get everybody in. But Kurt Gould, great baseball fan, and sadly has to say he's the brother of B.G. Gould. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Lucy McLennan, Joe Smith, former Medford Mustang, and also Brandon Ray, one of the great infielders of Mustang history. Brian Lewis, Terry Dahl, Cody Coggins, Robert Crawford, Stephanie Gassman, Nick Huffman, of course, Demi DeSoto, Table Rock Sports, Steve Cox, listening and watching him down in Phoenix, Arizona, and there's called strike 3. As Darren Marsh goes down looking, 2 gone against reliever Hector Amador. And again, a few other people, the Thompson family, Bud Rostel, Bill Hutchinson, Gene Kitchen, who else? Justin Meyer. Thank you so much for following our broadcast, liking it as well on Facebook, and spreading the word about PlayActionSportsMedia.com. Called strike to Bennett Thompson. As I said last night, the Mustangs perhaps down to their final strike. Learned that long ago that you hear a lot of guys say, well, they're down to their final strike. Well, not so fast. As we learned last night. 6-2, Dallas with the lead. And a chance for the Dirtbags to come back tomorrow. Play Eugene at 1 o'clock. Spoke with Kenny Niles earlier, Eugene's head coach, and all is well in Challenger land, although he did go off the deep end last night. And, boy, it's just a tough loss. But, you know, you talk about blood, sweat, and tears, it was it. And no, come Monday it won't be all right, in the words of Jimmy Buffett. It wasn't Monday night for Eugene. 2 strikes and a ball. The count to Bennett Thompson. Got a piece of it. Fouled it off. Stays alive up there. Some great Medford Mustang history. Looking at these numbers, the records all-time batting average. Jordy Stevens, 1983, hit .519. How about Chad Hegdahl? Remember him from Ashland, 2004, hit .512. The Brown brothers. And then highest career batting average, Seth Brown, Jordy Stevens. Another one pulled foul. Most hits in a career, Rob Folsom. Evan MacArthur went on to play at Cal State Fullerton. Alex Chavez, who is the home plate umpire here tonight, back in '97. 254 hits, third best in Mustang history. And the list goes on and on. Check out the Mustangs online. Google them, Medford Mustangs Baseball, on their Ball Charts website. And some great pros out of that program as well. Brad Arnsberg, oh my goodness, the late great Steve Beckler was with the Orioles organization, tragically passed away. Pulled down the left field line and foul into the deep bullpen area on the Dallas Dirtbag side. Best earned run average in 2015, that team that went to Shelby, North Carolina, the World Series, Cody Coggins, 0.83. Jacob Melton, just a year ago, 0.90. Scott Lewis in 1984, 1.01. Bobby Wolcott, most wins in a year, 15. He played and pitched in the American League Championship Series with the Mariners. Been some good ones. Hard hit ball up to short, in the hole deep, Maiden across in time to get Thompson, and that is the ball game. The Mustangs in the 7th, no runs, no hits. They leave 1, and the Dallas Dirtbags will play for the semifinal tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock against the Eugene Challengers. Final score tonight in this semifinal, the Dallas Dirtbags 6, the Medford Mustangs 2. The totals in the game, the Dirtbags 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 6 left. For Medford, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 6 runners left on base. Caleb Cantola, starting pitcher for the Dirtbags of Dallas, gets the win. He led Central to the 5A championship this spring, and Cantola struck out 8 of the 25 men he faced, allowing 2 earned runs on 3 hits, and Hector Amador comes in to finish it off. Blake Shields will take the loss in 2 1/3 for Medford. Stephen Ledendecker came in for 3 2/3, got some work, and the records for Dallas now go to 32-11 overall. Medford 32-23. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, it'll be the Eugene Overhead Door Challengers as they will take on the Dallas Dirtbags. It'll be a great matchup. And again, those teams have met previously, no strangers to one another. So they'll do it again as they did 2 days ago, Eugene winning 3-2. And it'll be a 1 o'clock start. Eugene and Dallas, the winner, will meet Medford at 4 o'clock for all the marbles and a chance to go to Lewiston, Idaho, the site of the Northwest Regional Championship Tournament, which begins 1 week from tomorrow. Again, our final score, Dallas 6, Medford 2. Stay tuned. Quick postgame show comes your way next. You're watching PlayActionSportsMedia.com.
Rogue River aboard this historical adventure full of wildlife and the breathtaking views of the legendary Hellgate Canyon. Our 2-hour, 36-mile Hellgate jet boat excursion offers you the best of the Rogue as we weave through the high-walled canyons and spot eagles, deer, and otter, all while your pilot shares the fascinating history of the wild and scenic Rogue River. The quick and scenic tour with Hellgate jet boat excursions. Book yours now at hellgate.com, where your adventure awaits.
Welcome back to the Lithia Auto Group Oregon AAA American Legion State Championship Tournament from Kiger Stadium at Clem Bradbury Field. Here on PlayActionSportsMedia.com, presented by Oregon California Supply and powered by Les Schwab Tires. The Dallas Dirtbags defeat the Medford Mustangs 6-2. Dallas will meet Eugene tomorrow at 1 o'clock, with the winner getting the opportunity to play Medford for the state championship and an opportunity to go to Lewiston, Idaho, a week from tomorrow to open the Northwest Regional Tournament against the Alaskan state champion. Again, 6-2 the final. And for Dallas, it got started with Jacob Maben, the left fielder out of Western Oregon University, with a leadoff home run against Blake Shields from Medford. And then 3 batters later, it was Kyle Mitsuashu with a run-scoring double. And the Dirtbags jumped out to a 2-0 lead over Medford. Mustangs would come back, though, and in the first would get a leadoff double from Darren Marsh, ground out RBI from Bennett Thompson, makes it 2-1, and then in the third, back-to-back singles by Sandoval and McClellan, the latter scoring a run to tie it at 2-2, and we stayed scoreless until the third. The very next inning, Dallas gets 4 runs, 3 hit batsmen in 4 plate appearances. Blake Shields loading the bases up. Stephen Ledendecker got the call from the bullpen. First guy he faced was the number 7 hitter Eric Swanson, the first baseman, and he roped a 3-run double clearing the bases, and that made it 6-2, and that's where we ended up tonight. 6-2 your final. The Dallas Dirtbags defeat Medford again. The Dirtbags record overall now 32-11. The Zone 3 champions against the number 3 seed out of Area 4, the defending 5-time state champion Medford Mustangs. Their record now at 32-23. Want to thank the tournament director for hosting us all week long as we'll enter the 5th and final day of the state tournament tomorrow. Boy, at times it seems like it takes forever to get to that point, and then all of a sudden you're here facing the final day, and indeed we will tomorrow. But been a great run tournament by the Klamath Falls Falcons, the host team here. Thank you to their tournament board, Joe DeKinney, Pete Whistler, and all the crew involved, and all the great sponsors as well. I said, Steve, I meant Dave Snyder, my bad there. But I want to thank his board members, Ken Anderson, Christina Buckley, Tina Snyder, Brian Charlton, Adam Yancey, John Mick, Brian Hayes, and Case Shively. Just a few of the people make the executive decisions. Some great sponsors, Henry's Roofing, the Dennis Bennett family, the Isler of Klamath Falls, and again, all the Klamath Falls people that have done a great job. It's been a good tournament for them, and you get down to the final day with 3 teams, and all 3 are very good programs. And it'll be interesting to see, but Dallas, the most experienced team, Eugene, probably the team with the chip on the shoulder that really wants to redeem themselves and get back at Medford if they can get another shot at them. You know they'd love to. And then, of course, the Medford Mustangs, well coached, a program with Paul White and previously Don Schneider, the general manager for many years. They've had a foundation. Sandy Kensinger, the late coach, our dear friend, who passed away a couple years ago. It's been a program that, many, I guess, love to hate and hate to love, but they're good guys, good people, good ladies and gentlemen in that group, and they are indeed the champion. And to be a champion, you've got to beat the best. So it's going to take Dallas and Eugene's best tomorrow as Medford lays waiting for the 4 o'clock championship finale. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate all of the following online at playactionsportsmedia.com. We're sponsored by Hellgate Jet Boat Excursions, Affordable Truck and RV by Timber Country Coca-Cola, by Russ Gallup and Oregon, California Supply, and also by Troy Leeper and the Southern Oregon Les Schwab Tire Centers. Thank you so much. For Josh Eldridge, I'm Jay Reese saying thanks for watching. Again, the final score tonight, the Dallas Dirtbags 6, the Medford Mustangs 2. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. It's Eugene and Dallas. Then at 4, Medford faces the winner. So long from Klamath Falls, Oregon.